Good day, everybody. It is Calxiyn here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to go ahead and subscribe for more Miraculous Ladybug videos. Today, we are going to be basically talking about Marinette and Adrien scenes that happened in Miraculous Ladybug New York. I'm also going to show you guys some of my reactions to these scenes, how it pertains to the special, but also what it means for Season 4, so let's get right into it. Now, the first big scene is like Marinette and Adrien touch, trying to do the airplane things. They fall over each other. There's just so much going on here. This is so exciting, guys! What? Yeah, Alya knows too! Oh my god, guys! It's gonna be a long 8-hour ride, sis! Oh my god. Good thing Chloe was like, oh yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna go sit in first class. Look at Adrien helping her with this suitcase! That's so cute! Oh my god. And Gorilla's there. Oh my god. Marinette should just be like, I'm scared to fly, sis, you know? Like, it'd be like that sometimes. Ah! They're touching each other, guys! Oh my god! Ah! Clumsiness! Yes! Let's go! I love this! Oh my god. What I really like about this scene is that I think that genuinely Adrien was excited to sit beside Marinette and really wanted them to sit together because of everything that Marinette has done for him, getting him to be there on the trip, and we sort of see that again in the sunset scene, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but I feel like that he really wanted Marinette to sit beside him so they could sort of talk and like have that sort of bonding moment, but of course Marinette's like, Alya, like, I need help, I can't do that, and she switches seats with the teacher, which is disappointing, I think, for Adrien, but obviously Marinette is saved here, because Marinette, and we talked about this in a couple of the other videos I did, if you guys saw, I did sort of like a little discussion series already, especially like the Luca and Kagami one, we talked about this, but Marinette insists, like she insists throughout the entire like special, except for like a point, and we'll talk about that later, that she's over it, but clearly she's not over it, but I also like that she accepts herself, you know, she's like, okay, it may take a little more effort to be Adrien's friend, I may need to work towards it a little more. Like, she also recognizes that that is something she wants, but not necessarily something she is. She wants to be over it, but she's not over it, and I feel like that's super important, because she tells everyone, I'm over it, then she sort of switches to, okay, well, maybe I'm not over it, maybe I need a little more practice, but I will be over it soon, trust me, and then it's like, no, she's not over it at all. So I like that sort of progression. I thought that this scene was cute. Like, I was freaking out during this scene. I was like, they're touching each other, all that sort of stuff. The other thing that I thought was interesting was Marinette picking up the magazine and then putting it down because it has Adrien on it, but then Adrien picking up the magazine and putting it down because it has Ladybug and Cat Noir on it, and he also can't do anything on the plane because Ladybug and Cat Noir are everywhere, and so it sort of represents like the guilt that they're both feeling, which I think is really cool, like the stuff that they're both feeling in that moment. It's like, oh, I can't look at Adrien, like, in this magazine right now, like, it reminds me too much, and then Adrien is reminded too much of Ladybug and his responsibilities as Cat Noir, which he is avoiding. That's the thing about the special, is each one of them are avoiding something. Marinette is avoiding confronting her feelings for Adrien, and then Adrien is avoiding, like, his Cat Noir stuff, and, like, feeling really bad about it. But, again, I talked about that a little in the Ladybug and Cat Noir version of this video that I did, which you guys should go watch. And so Marinette and Adrien see the sunset, which is a very romantic scene, and I really like, the only reason I could enjoy this beautiful sunset is you. You're always willing to take a chance on something or someone, even if no one else believes in it. And I thought that was such a nice line because, again, and I talked about this in another video, what Adrien is saying to Marinette is a very Ladybug aspect. Like, I think Adrien talks to her very romantically throughout the entire special, and so what I personally think is that Adrien is sort of applying a Ladybug trait onto Marinette in that moment, because Marinette is showcasing a Ladybug trait, and Adrien's fallen a little in love with her, and he doesn't even know, because the trait that Marinette has is a trait that, like, Ladybug also has, and so he's like, like, there's a connection there, like, there's a love connection, in a sense. He's in love with that trait, and Marinette displays it, and it's a very, like, romantic scene, and he gives her a hug, and it's like, clearly, I don't know, like, clearly he's feeling something, that's all I'm trying to say. Oh, guys, it's so nice. Oh, guys. She has something, guys. That's so cute. Oh. dancing, and then Alya and Sparrow basically meddle, so they are dancing to the same song that they danced at Chloe's party, which is obviously very romantic, and like Adrien is acting like he is super into Marinette here. Like, I don't even know if he realizes it, but he is. Like, look, like I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, but everything he says is just so romantic. Like, shall we? They're all just like conspiring to get oh my god. This is so good. Oh my god, Thomas Astruck, he fed us, man. He fed the fandom forever. There's just so much Adrien and Marinette content in this special. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, I cannot believe what they've done. Like, there's so much content, guys. The content. You guys can tell I liked that scene very much. It was romantic with the moon, all of that sort of stuff. And so yeah, definitely, what a good Madrian moment. What a good Marinette and Adrien scene. We were fed. Like, this has so much good content. Like, I'm so happy. Then we have the stuck between the doors, and like Marinette's like, you're always stuck with me, and he's like, I don't mind being stuck with a friend like you. And I'm just like, how is he this unaware? Like, he said that so like romantically, and I know they're doing it on purpose, but I'm just like, how does Adrien not realize it? And again, I feel like it's because he's starting to realize, and this will come into play in season 4, is that Marinette will start to showcase the ladybug aspects of herself around Adrien that she was sort of too bumbling or shy sometimes to showcase, and she's done it before, right? There have been moments where she's gone into ladybug mode, even though she's Marinette, and Adrien's been impressed by that, but it's really gonna hit home in season 4. And then on the other side, we'll get some cat noirness into Adrien as well, and that is when, you know, they will sort of like merge with themselves in a sense, and the other will realize that the traits that they're in love with in the other person are actually in each other. Does that make sense? Like, what Adrien loves about Ladybug is also in Marinette, and that'll like galaxy brain, guys. Like, it'll all work out, trust me. And then, so Uncanny and Sparrow are basically like, hey, you know, like, what if we make them think they could die? We'll put a villain, and it's like, I'll capture anyone who isn't loved, and Marinette will be like, don't capture him, for I love him, right? That's basically the plan. Again, I love Uncanny and Sparrow. They are such good characters, and I think it was so funny to see them do this, and I really like their whole role in this. I love it. I love the meddling that they're trying to do, and I love how, like, their meddling also, like, sort of intersects with the actual villains. Like, I think that was really good as well. But I think that their plan makes a lot of sense, and I wonder if that's foreshadowing, not necessarily for season 4, but it could be foreshadowing for another season, and that could happen, right? You could have the don't kill him, I love him moment and all that stuff, like, with another villain. And maybe it won't necessarily be like that. Maybe Marinette won't say it, but it's possible that that could be some type of foreshadowing, and that'll, like, turn into something later. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it'll be even switch. Like, Cat Noir will be like, don't kill her, I love her, or all that stuff. Or Adrien, right? Imagine if Adrien was like to Ladybug, like, don't kill her, I'm in love with her, and Ladybug was just like, Adrien's in love with Ladybug, like, what the fuck? Right? And so I feel like that could be really interesting, that they're expecting Marinette to be like, don't kill him, I love him, right, in this scene. But what if later in another season it happens and it's the reverse? It's Cat Noir, like Adrien in civilian form, though, saying like that about Ladybug, and Ladybug's just like, what? Right? I don't know. I feel like that would be good if that's some type of foreshadowing for later. Now to get to the sad part, and it's that Marinette is too sad to fight for Adrien because of losing Cat Noir, and Adrien is too sad to fight back against his father because of what he did as Cat Noir, right? And so we have this scene where they're both sort of like walking to each other, and Adrien's like getting in the car because his father is telling him to, and then Marinette just sort of lets him go, right? And so he says, I wouldn't have minded being stuck a little longer with a friend like you. And like, I just feel like that is so like, right? Because like Marinette doesn't chase after him, and that's where Alya is like, I'm gonna knock some sense into you. But I think that that's so interesting, is that they're both so defeated by what happened in superhero form, is that now they forget to fight for each other in civilian form as well, if that makes sense. Like, Marinette is so sad about what happened with Cat Noir that she can, like, she no longer has the energy, the strength to fight for Adrien in that moment. But then, we sort of get this parallel that, Plag is talking and all that stuff. Like, I should have never let him leave Paris. I don't remember what Plag said. And then Ladybug's like, he made his choice. And then when Alya confronts Marinette, she also says, he made his choice. What was I supposed to do? And I feel like that Marinette feels the same defeatism that she felt about Cat Noir also applies to Adrien. And so I feel like that's interesting, is that it feels that sort of defeatist energy about Cat Noir, and then when Adrien is in a position where he's leaving as well, she's just like, oh, well, what can I do? I already, I'm just losing everyone today. Like, she's just exhausted by it. And that's when Alya really comes in and knocks some sense into her, and basically is like, you have to fight for Adrien. If you want him to stay, he was waiting for you to tell him to stay. And I think that this is another interesting thing, right? Is that Adrien wants reinforcement from Marinette because he lost the reinforcement from Ladybug. Does that make sense? He wanted Ladybug, I think. I feel like even though Ladybug, she was like Cat Noir weight, right? And all that stuff, but I feel like he wanted the reinforcement from Ladybug that he is in a total screw up, and that Ladybug actually needs him. And then we see that later. We see that when he talks to Uncanny, that he is reinvigorated by the fact that Ladybug says, I don't know if I can do this without Cat Noir. That's what he needed. And so similar to how Cat Noir needed that reinforcement from Ladybug, he wanted that reinforcement from Marinette. He wanted Marinette to say, no, you're gonna stay. Don't listen to your father. He's not even here. Don't get in the car. He wanted sort of that same reinforcement, but similar to how he doesn't get it from Ladybug in that moment until Uncanny plays him the recording later, Marinette does not give him that reinforcement either in that moment, right? She just lets him go. And so I feel like that's an interesting sort of parallel, is that is what Adrien needs right now as Cat Noir and as Adrien. He does get it from Ladybug, but he doesn't get it from Marinette in that scene until she goes after him. But again, he doesn't know that she did that, right? And so I feel like that the line, I lost Cat Noir, I can't lose Adrien too, that was really interesting for that reason, right? That she realized that she had already lost someone important to her today, so why is she letting Adrien be ripped away from her too? And I feel like that's so important. And then we have the Adrien I love you scene as Marinette sort of falls and fails, and I feel like that's gonna be really a metaphor for season 4 when you think about it. She chases after him, but she just can't reach him, right? In that moment, by the time she's able to admit her true feelings, he's already gone. And I think in season 4 again, Marinette's just gonna conveniently forget that she said Adrien I love you, and we're gonna get again the Luca and Marinette stuff that I've already talked about in other videos. I think that we're definitely still gonna get that, but we sort of see this is where the inevitable will end up in. Marinette will inevitably realizes that she loves Adrien, right? And so I feel like she's gonna forget about this. She's gonna forget that she said that she loved Adrien out loud. Nobody heard her except for us, right? So, they'll never know, the audience, Alya and whoever, they'll never know she said that, but I feel like we as the audience know. And so in season 4, as we see Marinette sort of, try to be yeah, I'm over him, with Luca, we know the truth. And so I feel like that's how it's gonna play in season 4 for sure. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was really fun to talk about. We got fed in terms of Marinette and Adrien scenes. The content we got, guys, it was really, really good. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little video about it, my reactions to these specific scenes, all that stuff. And I hope that I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.